Maybe I need to show you what I'm capable of.
I love the trailer, and yesterday was the first time I saw it, really. I mean, I will say he does make his way out of those scrubs.
New look of Sentry given by the MCU in this little Caesar reel they releasing on social media. And I'm not gonna lie, it's getting intense.
He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
I don't know if the MCU, Kevin Feige, always knew they had this type of character in their back pockets, but I find it very interesting that they were willing to create a platform for a character like this. And what I mean by this is this. Listen to his power set. This coming by Variant Comics. Oh, reliable.
He has superhuman strength, speed, senses, invulnerability, intangibility, invisibility, telepathy. He could bring people back from the dead, shape-shifting, matter manipulation, immortality, and telekinesis.
Every article that I found in regards to Sentry, they kind of phrase it as he's the Superman of the MCU, but from my vantage point, I never heard of him, and most of my comic knowledge is from the TV shows, films of like modern America, late 90s, the 2000s to this point. Sentry has never been a thing. But now that he is a thing, I find him to be a very cool character. It's not that much, personal life story with Sentry, as at least I haven't came across it, but I do like the development of how he came to be. And if you don't know, Sentry was basically another answer to the Weapon X program. I like the fact that like the comic books kind of tie everything into one entity. So Weapon X, Wolverine and whatnot, Captain America, that was trying to create a super soldier. One time they try to create it, Sentry popped out. He was from the Project Sentry. So that probably will be a part of this story somehow, some way. What I also find interesting is his personal dilemma is the fact that he's mentally unstable to a degree. He has anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, which causes him to have an alter ego known as the Void. And the Void is basically his dark side. So the creator of Sentry, who is Jay Lee, Rich, and Paul, was tasked to create a super omnipotent being that can stop or withdraw anything. So the caveat is the only thing that can beat him is himself in a way, which is created via his alter ego known as the Void. It's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde situation, which is kind of dope. And the only thing I can compare it to is the character Moon Knight that had a series on Disney Plus. He had a little bit of schizophrenia, not a little bit. He had schizophrenia, and his alter egos was warring with each other. So we get some of that flavor from Sentry in the film.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all?
So what also I find interesting is the fact that if Sentry is now part of the MCU, there is no need for Icarus, the character they kind of display from Eternal. I'm starting to think they're going to literally wipe away the Eternals or turn them into like a Disney Plus type of situation because there's no room for them at this point. The MCU is moving to the mutants after Avengers. At least that's what all the evidence suggests. And then you have Sentry in the corner just cooking. He seemed like that could be a whole story in itself with him being part of what could be considered the new Avengers. But regardless, with this little Caesar reel, the hype levels is getting up there. And this little power of the Void, where he's just blinking people out of existence, I'm assuming that's the Void power. They gotta explain that. It's like, is he sending these people to the Shadow Realm on some Yu-Gi-Oh vibes? Or is he just incinerating them? He's just leaving an ash in its shadow. I don't know how they're gonna phrase it, but this movie is looking very promising. Let's see how the internet is responding. Thunderbolt promo era is here. We finally made it. I second that. I didn't think Thunderbolts were going to be what it is. I'm legitimately excited for this. And I feel like this is a promising movie based off the marketing of the movie. Like, this was released some time ago, highlighting the editor, the writers, directors, cinematographers, composers, all being a part of great independent films that stood on the merit of the story being told and not the action scenes of this film, which is a big selling point for people like me, because it's like, okay, Captain America 4 has a great Red Hulk versus Sam Wilson America fight at the end of the movie, but everything else story-wise sucks so bad that is like, what are we doing? And, you know, with a film like this, I typically justify like, at least I got that great scene in my memory, but I can't keep doing this to my body, you know? So knowing that this has a bit of both flavors, great action scenes, and a compelling story to tell, hypes me up even more. But comment down below, tell me how you feel about the whole shindig, and are you excited to witness the greatness known as Sentry?
No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!